right, I got another funny story for you today. And I promise you it has to do with leadership as well and your well-being. That's a clue. So the story that I have, it is funny because I play a lot of pool, like billiards. I play pool. I'm very invested in it. I really enjoy the sport. I played at an early age and I just love it. Anyways, so when I go to the pool hall, a lot of times what happens is there's a lot, at least the one I go to, there's a lot of blue collar people there. Plumbers, electricians, handyman, people work in constructions, labor job typically. So not white collars, but typically blue collar, which is funny because right now, the way it is in North America is there's huge demand for them, all right? And they got so much work. Anyways, I'm the exception of what you would typically see at the pool hall, right? So at the pool hall, typically you'll see smokers, drinkers, and gamblers. That's usually like their personality traits. I'm none of those. The interesting thing is because they see that I'm fit, right? They see I'm fit. Like for example, sometimes I wear a tank top there if it's really hot, but they know that I'm fit and they know I'm into fitness as well. So a lot of them, I don't know what it is. Like they just love to talk to me about fitness, as if I'm there to talk about fitness, which is weird. They just love to talk to me about fitness, right? So some of them will come like this, say, oh yeah, you know what? When I was younger, I was able to squat like 300 pounds, or I was able to do this. And when I was younger, I do this. It's like, but no, I look at them now, it's like, fuck man, they're out of shape. I know they're out of shape. I know they're smokers. Like, I don't know if they just want to have a conversation with me because I'm like the exception where I'm the fit guy. So anyways, like, yeah, when I was younger, I could do this. It's like, oh yeah. And then they'll tell me like, I used to be able to like lift, like I was to bench press like 2 plates and whatever it is. Like they're talking to me about that. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm going to them as if it's not too late, right? It's never too late. So I'm telling you know what, you can probably do it again if you really put your mind into it. But for some reason, the person just kept on sharing me about the story of how it used to be, now how it can be, right? At this point, I'm trying to nudge them. It's like, hey, you know what? It's not too late. You can still do it, right? Like, first of all, the person is not that old, all right? The person's not that old. Well, at least it doesn't look like that person's that old. They have some white hair, but clearly the person's not super old. But even if you're super old, you should still be active. You should still be lifting some weight so that you stay healthy. So we're having a conversation back and forth, and again, finally, I start nudging, and the person's not biting. Like I'm telling them, like you still have time. It's not too late. Because I mean, we had this mayor, I think Hazel McCallion. I think she was at 98 in the 90s, right? And I saw her. She was bloody deadlifting, right? She was deadlifting. I think like she was deadlifting, for a guess, probably like 35 pounds. I think that would be about 15 kilos, something like that, right? She was deadlifting, and it's like, this lady is tiny, right? So some that image is going in my head. I was like, okay, for sure, at least this guy can, this guy's probably for sure is not in the 90s. He can still exercise. There's no doubt about that. So again, I'm trying to imagine. So we're having a conversation, and then finally I ask him like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, how old are you? How old are you? And he tells me his age. It just turns out the bloody guy's only like 5 years older than me. He's only 5 years older than me. And he's talking to me as if like he's this old crippled man who's too late for him to exercise now. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so what does it have to do with entrepreneurship? What does it have to do with leadership? Think about it for a second. What do you think? What's a lesson you got out of there? This is the lesson that I got out of it. It's about how see things when you are at that stage. My point is, it's never too late. It's never too late. If you are alive, you're breathing, and you can still mobile, absolutely, you still have time. It's the same thing with leadership, with entrepreneurship, right? You still have the opportunity, right? You still have the opportunity. You wake, you had a bad day, bad month, something happened, even, worst case scenario, you go bankrupt. At least in North America, you still have an opportunity to do it again, to bounce back. You still have an opportunity, go for your dreams. You still have that opportunity because there were some setbacks. But the thing is, it's your belief, it's yourself, it's your leadership. How are you looking at things, right? How are you looking at things? And are you the type of person who gives up, or are you the type of person who keeps on going? So that's the story I'm gonna share with you today.